फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इज यार ये सब्सिडी तो बड़े लोगों का काम है, ये हमें तो नहीं
हाँ
मिलेगी,
हाँ हाँ
राइट?
हाँ हाँ
Many in many parts of the country still people are not aware of the benefits the government is providing to set up the factory. Even if you are starting a salon, gym, beauty parlor, right? Even if you're starting such kind of businesses or at a very small scale, even
Hmm.
in those cases you can get the benefit of subsidy, but people are not aware of it.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of 7 Question. I'm your host Shashwat Seth. Today we have a guest who is making a real impact in the entrepreneurial ecosystem by helping business access government subsidies efficiently. Joining us today, Aditya Maheshwari, founder of Easeouts, a company that has been revolutionizing the subsidy consulting space since 2020. His mission is to empower entrepreneurs with the knowledge and means to navigate government subsidies, ensuring business gets the financial support they deserve. Aditya, it's been pleasure to have you here. How are you doing today?
Thank you. First of all, thank you so much for having me here. It's really my pleasure, and I really like it. When somebody takes an initiative to make entrepreneurs aware of such different kind of benefits that are available to them. So I think that's really a great of you. Thank you.
Let's start with our 7 question. So my first question is, what inspired you to start Ease Out, and what problem you are trying to solve for entrepreneurs?
Okay. So many years ago, I came across the one thing that there are a number of incentives or subsidies available for starting a new business or expanding your business. But
Mm.
number of industries or number of MSMEs or startups are not aware of it. So I really felt something is missing, because if government is giving you a benefit, you should definitely have that benefit because it is going to strengthen your business, right?
Yeah.
So, but people are not aware of it, and still, people are still not aware. In many parts of the country, still people are not aware of the benefits the government is providing to set up the factory or to, or start your own manufacturing or whatever it
Mm.
is.
Mm. Mm.
So I think that problem I found, and I actually wanted to solve that problem. So we came up with the concept of, a consultancy where we can definitely help the people who are really starting the business in getting the governmental benefits, because governmental benefits were the something that people used to think is not for them. So
Mm.
that is why we are trying to solve that problem.
Okay. So my next question is, many business owners struggle with understanding government subsidies. What are the most common misconception they have? You have countered.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
As I've earlier said that there are a lot of misconceptions about subsidies.
Yes.
First of all is यार ये सब्सिडी तो बड़े लोगों का काम है, ये हमें तो नहीं
हाँ
मिलेगी,
हाँ हाँ
right?
हाँ हाँ हाँ
Second is that ये तो वो गवर्नमेंट वाला काम है, अब सालों लग जाएंगे, but still we will not
हाँ।
get the benefit. Such kind of things are there in the minds of the people. Still these kind of concepts
Yeah,
or
there
misconceptions are
are.
there in the minds of the people. But yeah, the people or the regime has been changed.
Hmm.
The concept of DBT has been introduced, the direct benefit transfer. Initially, the
Okay.
government used to release the checks of the subsidies, and that used to be a lot of ruckus to get that check out of the
Okay.
government official, right?
Okay.
But the DBT concept has been introduced. So I think direct benefit transfer has changed the things, and it has also impacted the mindset of the people. And second, or one another misconception is that only if you are starting a manufacturing unit you will get a subsidy, which is
Mm-hmm.
actually
Yeah.
true, because 95 to 97% subsidies are for manufacturing unit only, or in
Mm-hmm.
rather you can say 99% subsidies are for the manufacturing only. But yeah, there are some schemes you can get benefited for services as well. Even if you are starting a salon, gym, beauty parlor, right? Even if you're starting such kind of businesses or at a very small scale, even
Hmm.
in those cases you can get the benefit of subsidy, but people are not aware of it.
Okay. So my next question is, what industry or businesses types benefits the most from the subsidies you help them access?
Okay, great. See, manufacturing is always the
Yeah,
preferred segment
that's
by the
the
government because manufacturing generates more and more employment, and the government gives subsidy in order to generate employment.
hmm.
Because every other day, people in different corner of the countries keep on
Mm-hmm.
many organizations or many such bodies keep on complaining about the things that there is no employment, there
Hmm.
is no employment. So in order
Hmm.
to tackle such kind of situation, in order to generate
Hmm.
employment in the country, government
Hmm.
tries to subsidize the manufacturing units. And obviously, starting a service business and starting a manufacturing business, जमीन आसमान का फर्क है boss.
हाँ,
ठीक है,
बहुत
in
ज्यादा।
service industry you don't have to put lot of your capital. But in
या
manufacturing, you have to put every penny. In many cases, I see people put every penny that they have
या
into the manufacturing because it
because
takes
you
a
have
lot
to
of
build the.
your 100%. It really takes a lot of money because you are setting up a plant, you're getting the
Hmm.
machinery. In some cases, you have to import the machinery, you have to
Yeah.
set up your some kind of admin office, and everything is there, right? So for manufacturing, obviously the cost is more, the effort is more, and the outcome in terms of generation of employment is also more. So government
Hmm.
subsidizes or supports the manufacturing units more.
Okay. So my next question is, what when an entrepreneur approaches Ease Out, what does the process looks like from the start to finish? Basically,
Okay.
when we came to Ease Out, how you are going to help us? Like, I'm a service-based company. So, what are the subsidy we can get, and how does process looks like?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
See, first of all, what our methodology is that when the people approach us, we first try to understand what kind of business they are getting into, whether it is of manufacturing, whether it is service, and we try to get to the core because we want to
Hmm.
actually understand what kind of business it is, so that once
Hmm.
we understand the fundamental or the core of the business, we can definitely guide them. Because see,
Hmm.
there are some subsidies which are generic, there are
Hmm.
some subsidies which are sector specific. Like there are some sectors which government is totally bullish on. There are some sectors which actually government really wants to push in order to increase our exports, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
we try to understand the business from the very core, and once we
Hmm.
understand the business, we suggest and we ask that how much is the investment that the person is willing to
Hmm.
put.
Hmm.
The investment because there are some subsidies for the
Hmm.
low capex projects, and there are some subsidies for the high capex projects, and both the schemes are different, benefits are altogether different, and the conditions are also different. So we try to understand the investment, we try to understand where they are going to locate their plant, because
Hmm.
if it is a manufacturing, your plant location really matters from two to three perspectives. One, because your plant location has to be near to the raw material that you're going to procure,
Hmm.
because otherwise it is going to increase the transportation cost of
Hmm.
the raw material, transportation cost
Hmm.
of transporting the raw material and
Yeah.
sending the finished goods to the different places. Secondly, the more
Land
developed
cost.
that, sorry.
Land cost, I think.
Yes, land cost. Yes, land cost also gets increased if
Yeah.
you're looking for some places which is more the place which is more developed,
Developed.
and the most important is the subsidy amount gets reduced if you are setting up your factory at the very developed zone. The more underdeveloped or undeveloped zone you go, the subsidy amount gets bigger or larger.
Hmm.
So your appropriate location should be finalized. So we talk
Hmm.
about the location, and once everything is ready, we go with the project report. We ask for the
Hmm.
minute details. We may make the project report. Project report is nothing but some kind of financial blueprint of the business. Okay,
Okay.
or you can call it as a financial business plan. So we make it,
Okay.
and many subsidies are credit linked. So in order to get the
Hmm.
subsidy, you have to take a loan from the bank. Okay, so we try to check the feasibility from the bank whether this proposal is bankable or not.
Hmm.
If the
Hmm.
proposal is bankable, then we move ahead with getting the all documentation ready, all the documentation which is required for the subsidy. And many a times what
Hmm.
happens is the subsidy and the loan process goes hand in hand.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
Hmm.
when the loan gets disbursed, first loan gets sanctioned and then gets disbursed,
Hmm.
and then after some process has to be done, and then you get the subsidy. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, meanwhile, but we have our checkpoints. At each checkpoint, we ensure that this person is going smoothly through the process, and he's actually, he's because what we try to do is we try to ask for the buffer time, because many a
Yeah.
times what happens is people try to change their minds. People try to
Hmm.
change the machineries they're going to buy, because in recent cases there was a very large project and the person was buying the machinery in first case from the
Hmm.
domestic market. But later on, he decided to, go and buy it from China. Okay,
Hmm.
import, importing. So all the things get changed because your cost changes, your machinery model, and everything gets changed. So we have to
Yeah.
make such corrections in the project report, in the application of the subsidy, and all that stuff.
Hmm.
So
Hmm. Hmm.
we gave them buffer time because so once they decide and once they finalize everything, then we can move ahead.
Hmm. Okay.
And once
Okay.
the process is done, they get the subsidy. Subsidy, see, every scheme has a different timeline. So in some subsidies, you can get the benefit in the 30 days. In some cases, it is 90 days. In some cases, it can go up to 180 days as well.
Okay. So, got it. So, my next question is, how do you ensure that the business maximizes their chance of approval for a subsidy?
Okay. See, as I have said that we go with the checks. We
Yeah.
earlier ensured that whether this person is actually eligible for the subsidy or not.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if we, without checking such kind of things, it will be wasting our own time and it will be wasting the
Hmm.
person,
Hmm.
person who is actually applying for the subsidy. It
Hmm.
will
Hmm.
be
Hmm.
wasting the time for both of us. So we have our proper checks. The document has to be in a place. The
Hmm.
eligibility criteria has to be in the place,
Hmm.
and the person who is committing such kind of XYZ amount of investment, he has to be very firm on that this kind of investment I'm ready to make. Otherwise, what happens is that if the mind gets changed at the last moment, the things will
Hmm.
definitely get up teared apart. So I think we really try to make things. We have a
Hmm.
checkpoints. This is what I said, which really prevent the things from happening.
Okay. So, document verification and all the things. Isn't there anything like your idea has to be unique? I think I have read in Startup India that idea has to be unique, then only you will get subsidy. Okay.
See, first of all, we have to understand the difference between the MSME business and a startup. Okay.
Okay.
So what is MSME? MSME is a conventional business that has been into the existence since at least
Hmm.
some considerable time, like trading of
Hmm.
some
Hmm.
things, manufacturing of
Hmm.
XYZ thing. That is a MSME business. And next
Hmm.
is startup. Startup is something innovative, something problem solving, or something which is worth scaling up.
Yeah.
Okay, like Ola, Oyo, or Zomato. These are the startups. But other
Hmm.
companies that you see which are into the core manufacturing, like
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
detergent soaps and all that, that is MSME business. Okay,
Yeah.
so both the types of companies have their own different subsidy schemes. Obviously, subsidy and grant schemes they all
Hmm.
get, but
Hmm.
major support or major again the push is given to the manufacturing industry. And
Manufacturing
now
sector.
comes to the startup. You have a scheme called Startup India Seed Fund, where
Yeah.
even if you just have an idea, you just have an
Hmm.
idea that I can solve this problem by this mechanism, and this idea is
Hmm.
actually worth pursuing. It has a
Hmm.
scaling potential. It has a problem solving
Hmm.
orientation. And definitely
Hmm.
government can help you get that Startup India Seed Fund, which is 20 lakh
Hmm.
rupees of the seed fund. Obviously,
Okay.
you don't get the 20 lakhs in a one go. You get it in a different tranches. But yes, there are schemes available for startups as well and for MSMEs as well.
Okay. So my next question is, what are the some of the biggest challenges you have faced in scaling ease out, and how did you overcome them?
See, we are into the service business, obviously, and scaling the
Yeah.
service business is a really very big challenge. At a
Yeah.
certain level, you get saturated. Okay, you
Yeah.
are also into the service business, so you understand
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
difficult it is.
Yeah.
So, you have to somewhere or the other, you have to productize your service, and you have to find some way or the other that you can. We are into the process of productizing our service in such a way that
Hmm.
it gets standardized, and
Hmm.
it gets standardized in such a way that bare minimum effort needs to be done from our head office, and other efforts
Hmm.
can be done through the affiliate program that we are trying to run. We are trying to appoint our different affiliates in the various cities who are going to run the operation, run the
Hmm.
game ahead. And this is what our major thing that we are trying to convert our services into the product. This is what the challenge that we had, because scaling was really a very difficult task for us,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
we
Hmm.
tried to tackle it in such a way.
Okay. Great. Affiliated program is working for you. Okay.
We
So
we
my
train the affiliates. Yeah, sorry,
what?
sorry, you can go on.
No,
We
no, no.
actually train affiliates, and those affiliates go on doing work for us in a various different cities. That way we can remains we can remain a very frugal, and we also remain a very scalable, because we have a we don't need to invest too much into the assets, too much into the different
Hmm.
kind of
Hmm.
infrastructure to go
Hmm.
into the various cities. So that way
Hmm.
we remain very lean. This
Hmm.
is what I can say.
Yeah, got it. Okay. If you could give one piece of advice to an entrepreneur who have never explored subsidies, what would it be?
For subsidies.
Yeah, for
Okay.
startup,
So,
how they can and what are the schemes of government they can go for startups?
okay. See, majorly whenever you are going to start something,
Hmm.
you have to approach somebody who can help you for the subsidies, and who can definitely guide you what are the subsidies available for you. And many a
Hmm.
times there are scenarios where you can get the benefit of two subsidies at the same time. Okay,
Okay.
but you don't get to know it just by checking that on a Google. So you
Hmm.
have to find some person who is expert at it, or some organization who is working into it. You
Hmm.
can definitely go to them. You can ask these kind of plans that I have for my future, or
Hmm.
for right now I'm going to pursue these kind of opportunities. So you will get to know what are the subsidies, because many a
Hmm.
times what happens is the person invests the money,
Hmm.
starts the manufacturing it, and then somebody comes and a subsidy liya kya. Then he
Hmm.
gets to know, yeah, I missed that opportunity, right? So whenever you're going to start something, go to somebody who is an expert at subsidy kind of things. He can definitely guide you about that.
Ease
And
out
once you know
one
the
end
subsidy,
solution. Ease out one
yes.
end solution.
Okay, great. So definitely, even we can guide you with the different kind of subsidies that are available to you. And once you are done with that, then go for the processes. And we also guide you for the processes, because every day we meet hundreds of people, hundreds of
Hmm.
new startups and MSME businesses that come into the
Hmm.
being. So we know how, what should be the actual flow chart to be followed for
Hmm.
going into a business. This is what we have learned from the people only. This is what because we tend to observe the people who have done very who have executed the manufacturing unit
Hmm.
setup very successfully, and who are doing the great businesses. So I think
Hmm.
this is what we can also guide you on that as well.
Aditya, this was truly insightful. Understanding government subsidies is a game changer for businesses. And the work you are doing at Easeout is helping so many entrepreneurs to tap the financial support they didn't even know existed. Before we wrap up, where our listeners can find you and take help from Easeout.
Definitely, they can connect me on LinkedIn.
Okay, I will attach the
I'll
link.
definitely be available to help the entrepreneurs. This is what I
Okay,
love actually. So I think definitely
okay,
they can get connected with me on a LinkedIn. I would
okay,
definitely love to.
okay. I surely connect the link. So thank you so much, Aditya, for being here. And it's been pleasure to having you on the podcast. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm Shashwat Seth signing off. And he is Aditya Maheshwari. You can reach out to him for any help regarding the subsidies or anything you want for your startup or MSME startup. So thank you so much, Aditya.
Thank you. It's my pleasure, Shah.